I'm taking my time and going on whatever tangents that I'm going on with these things because this is. I have 16 cards out. Anyways, so picking up where I left off, the freaking reference that I was making, actually, it was a part in a book and the song "The Circle of Life" from Lion King. It was like those two things that stood out to me today, and basically, one of the characters in the book that I was listening to was talking about how like she was trying to find her path, and she was just like, it would be so much easier if you could just tell me what to do. And it's just like, no. And like her goddess was just like, no, I give you free will. So you get to choose what path you want. So your path is for you to discover. And then in like the Circle of Life song says, what is it? I don't know the exact fucking lyrics. So something about like when we choose our place in the path unwinding, which basically is what I'm getting from like the collective of these cards is like there's a path that's being unwound, but it's one that you have to choose for yourself. And that's the thing. A lot of the times, part of like the spiritual narcolepsy where you're kind of like just drifting on is like you can't quite find your path and you can kind of get lost in trying in all the things that you could do that you don't actually take action on any of them. And that can be like one of the curses of being like multi-talented. So if you have like multiple different gifts, then you're like, well, I don't know which one to go for. And so you kind of like that becomes an obstacle. It can become an obstacle to have like too many options to like go for, because then it's just like, which one should I commit to? Or like maybe, you know, you were sheltered and you never had a chance to do hardly anything. So now you have to sit here and figure out what you even want to do in the first place. If you even like half the stuff that you have done in the past, and to discover like new likes and new things like that, and that can also be an obstacle. So basically, like, your path is something that you have to choose. You have to flow through all of these options, all of these different directions, and trust that like your inner knowing will guide you in the right directions. But you have to learn to trust yourself. And under the obstacles, we have like alone in the world. A lot of the times, it can feel like, you know, when you don't know where you belong, when you don't know what your place is in the world, it can feel like you're walled off from the rest of the world. Because alone in the world, like, she's kind of like isolated. She's surrounded by stone. And it's just like, you know, is she really alone? Is anybody coming for her? Or like, you know, she's here all by herself and she's naked. So it's kind of giving like vulnerability. And maybe you're like protecting yourself from feeling vulnerable to the rest of the world because maybe a perfectionism that was like kind of projected on you throughout life. And so because you feel like you can't be perfect at it, or you don't want to like open yourself up to the world, that's one of the things that's kind of blocking your path. But your dreams are just on the other side of that wall. Once you get over the hurdle of like feeling like you don't have a place, or feeling like you can be left out in the open, you can be vulnerable and feel like you're without protection, which you're not. You're not without protection. But it may feel like that because like you're open right now. But you need to be open to accept the possibilities that life has to offer. And then after the wall, we have the magic sword. which is King Arthur's sword coming out of the water. Whatever this opportunity, whatever this gift, this path is, it is for you. You are the chosen one. You are the chosen one because you choose your path. So you will always be chosen by your own path. Like what you choose chooses you. Just like what you want wants you. So whatever path you choose is the path that is chosen for you. And I'm kind of like getting like thinking of the path as not like this object, but also as like a living thing, like a spirit of some sort, where like this spirit, this energy is also choosing you. And that's your path. Your path is a living thing. It is an energy, not just a job that you're choosing. It's like more than that. It's just fucking really weird to fucking explain. Now I'm gonna have to make that a little bit more clear. But that's the first time I've ever even heard that. Okay, I'm seeing like the timelines from like, I guess spoiler, the Marvel series, like the multiverse, where it's just like they had like, well, I'm gonna try not to do any spoilers. They had multiple different branches that would branch out depending on what was happening at one point or another. So between the Loki series and like the multiverse movies, like there's different paths branching out. And these paths, the way that they wind and the way that they're created as the choices are made. So think of it more of as a living being. Your path is of your own spirit. Your own spirit creates this path by the choices that you make. And so it is living as much as you are. The twists and turns in it are the twists and turns within yourself. As you make a decision or even don't make a decision, the way changes. You get different branches by the choices that you make. One choice may lead to a multitude of other choices, and then another choice may lead to only one other choice. But whatever it is, you're creating it as you're choosing or not choosing. Because whether you choose to do something or don't choose to do something, you're still making a choice. So you would rather go with something where you would actually go with what you want and what you feel. Like that is your guide. What makes you feel fulfilled? What makes you feel confident? Like your innermost feelings without the influence of the outside world. What is your true heart telling you? And these cards are of the True Heart Tarot deck. And then we have like Naked Before the Stars, which is another like card of like vulnerability and being confident in yourself. I just tossed that card across. Like, oh, I'm gonna have to do another part. Because my headphones are slipping out of my ears now. So yeah, I'm gonna just do another part. I'm gonna stop it now.